book altogether. And today, I have a special guest with me to read about our geckos. Let's give it up for the one and the only Mrs. Daru! Together, we are going to read and see what happens in our books. Thank you once again for joining us, and go Hawks! Galileo
and Newton.
Science Lab Geckos. Most geckos sleep by day.
But we're day geckos.
So we sleep by night.
And are awake during the day.
Just like the students in Mr. Russell's science lab.
Well, most of them. Some of those students seem to like to sleep during the day.
Our scientific family name is Geckodini.
And our genus name is Phelsuma. We are
reptiles.
We live in a vivarium.
Where there are plants.
And bamboo to climb on.
And crickets and mealworms to eat.
Sometimes we get mangoes. I like mangoes.
I know you do. I prefer the houseflies, which are crunchier.
But not as sweet.
Mr. Russell teaches science.
We like science.
Every year, Mr. Russell has a science fair.
We especially like science fair.
It's fun and instructional.
That's what Mr. Russell says.
I was just quoting him.
Quoting is fine. Copying is wrong.
I know that.
The students make replicas of the solar system.
And the human eye.
And volcanoes.
I like volcanoes.
They do experiments with helium.
And fruit flies.
Sometimes we get the leftover fruit flies.
Some of the children bring their pets, and we do reports on them.
We've seen kittens.
And tree toads.
And mice.
And worms.
I don't think the worms were pets.
Sometimes they do a special report on us.
We are very photogenic.
We never blink when the camera flashes goes off.
That's because we don't have eyelids.
We've seen demonstrations on fire safety.
And the Heimlich maneuver.
And how to make paper.
Sometimes things go wrong.
Not often.
But sometimes.
Sometimes things go very wrong.
That's how we knew what to do when the squirrel, the hamster,
the rabbit, the rat,
the macaw,
and the snake. Don't forget the snake.
I wasn't forgetting the snake.
They came into our room.
They said the dog was going to get loose from the box and come after them.
They said it was an emergency.
We knew what to do in case of emergency. Dial
911.
I was going to say that.
I said it already. You can say the next part.
But that was the exciting part.
The next part is exciting too.
Not as.
Stop skulking.
Dial 911.
I already said that.
Now we've both said it.
Yes, Newton. Now we've both said it. Only I said it first.
So they asked, what does dial 911 mean?
And we showed them the telephone.
I showed them the telephone.
I showed it too.
I showed it first.
Luckily, the hamster knows his numbers.
And the snake was able to knock the phone to where the rat could reach it.
The rat has dexterous fingers and pressed the buttons.
And the macaw yelled, help, help!
The squirrel knocked some beakers on the floor, so there was a sound of breaking glass.
The rabbit screamed.
I never heard the rabbit scream before.
Somebody should mention it in the science fair report.
The emergency people came fast.
They always come fast.
By then, the snake was falling asleep because he's a reptile.
Like us.
And he needed to go back to his vivarium with the heat lamp.
We like our heat lamp.
And the turtle likes hers. She keeps saying, wait for me, guys. She didn't catch up until...
the principal came.
His face was almost as red as a splotchy as the snake's belly.
That means he was mad.
I was telling that by showing.
It took a long time to round up all the animals.
Except for us, because we were still here.
And the fish were still in their tank, even though their tank was in the wrong room.
And the turtle wasn't hard to catch.
Neither was the snake, asleep on the floor.
The squirrel ran outside during the confusion.
So all that leaves is the dog.
Do you know the science name for a dog?
Of course I do. It's...
Family canine, genus Canis.
You always like to get the last word in, Galileo.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Do not.
Do.
Not always.